Okay, now the histology of urinary system. First of all, you should know that the renal capsule is a kind of dense, irregular connective tissue. Okay, when we take the sagittal section of kidney, we can see that the outer cortex it is darker and the inner medulla it is lighter. Okay, and medulla consists of many cone-shaped renal pyramids whose base is towards the cortex and it forms the corticomedullary junction. And the round apex of each pyramid extends downwards to the renal pelvis to form the renal papilla. And in between the renal papilla, the cortex it also extends on each side of renal pyramid to form the renal columns. Okay, these are the renal columns. Okay, and after that, each renal papilla it is surrounded by a funnel shaped minor calyx which collects the urine from the renal papilla. The minor calyx is joined to form the major calyx at the renal sinus. The major calyx is joined to form the larger funnel shaped renal pelvis, and this renal pelvis it leaves each kidney through hilum and narrows to become a muscular ureter and then descends towards bladder on each side of posterior body wall. Okay, functional unit of each kidney is uriniferous tubule, which consists of nephron plus collecting duct. Nephron is equal to renal corpuscle plus, that is, nephron is formed of renal corpuscle and renal tubules. Okay, and nephrons can be of two types: cortical nephrons and juxtamedullary nephrons. Cortical nephrons are located in renal cortex, whereas juxtamedullary are located at the junction of cortex with medulla. Okay, now the renal corpuscle. Renal corpuscle consists of a tuft of capillaries called as glomerulus, surrounded by a double layer of epithelial cells called as the Bowman's or the glomerular capsule, which has two layers. Inner visceral layer is formed of podocytes, which lie adjacent to the, or you can say completely invest the glomerular capillaries, and outer parietal layer, which is simple squamous epithelium. This renal corpuscle, it is the initial segment of each nephron. Okay, blood is filtered in renal corpuscles through the glomerular capillaries and it enters the capsular or the urinary space between parietal and visceral layers of glomerular capsule. Okay, and each renal corpuscle it has a vascular pole, that is where afferent arterioles enter and efferent arterioles leave the corpuscle, and the urinary pole, okay, which lies on the opposite side of vascular pole, and here proximal convoluted tubules begin. The filtrate produced by glomerular capillaries it passes through capsular space and leaves each renal corpuscle at the urinary pole, and from there goes into the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, so the filtration of the blood within the renal corpuscles it is facilitated by the glomerular endothelium. Basically, the endothelium within the glomerular capillaries it is very fenestrated and therefore permeable to many substances in the blood except the plasma proteins. So the glomerular filtrate which enters the capsular space is not urine. It is just an ultrafiltrate which is similar to plasma except for the absence of plasma proteins. Okay, after renal corpuscles comes the renal tubules. Basically, this filtrate goes from renal corpuscle to the proximal convoluted tubules, which are longer and more convoluted as compared to distal convoluted tubules. Here, from proximal convoluted tubule, filtrate goes to loop of Henle, then distal convoluted tubule, then collecting tubules, and finally collecting duct. And as the collecting ducts they become larger and descend towards the renal papilla in medullae, they are called as papillary ducts. And at the tip of each renal papilla, the papillary ducts they empty their contents into the minor calyx. Okay, and the area on the papillae which exhibits the opening of these papillary ducts is called as area cribrosa. Okay, apart from that, lighter staining medullary rays extend vertically from the bases of pyramids into the cortex. Okay. Now the renal blood supply. Renal arteries divides into segmental arteries near the hilum, and from there interlobar arteries, they extend and continue between the pyramids towards the cortex, and at the corticomedullary junction the interlobar arteries, they branch into arcuate arteries which arch over the base of pyramids and gives rise to interlobular arteries, and then afferent arterioles, then forms the glomerular capillaries. From the efferent arterioles come, which then form peritubular capillary network around the tubules in cortex and the vasa recta. Okay, within the cortex they form peritubular capillary network around the tubules and vasa recta in the medulla, which loops back to corticomedullary junction. These vasa recta, they form the loops which are parallel to the loops of Henle. Okay.